ladies and gentlemen, we're back with our second YouTube watch-along. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this as much as you did the first one. And don't forget, if you got any suggestions, you are more than welcome to leave them in the comments below. No flim-flam, no fuss. Let's get right into it. I'm Aeron Nix. Joining me, of course, is Kyle Wilkinson. And this time around, we're looking at the very first ever Hell in a Cell match. Badd Blood 1997 in your house. That's what you want to look for. October the 5th, 1997. If you can't find it on the WWE Network, or if you don't have the WWE Network, I do have it on good authority. It's available via Daily Motion and some YouTube outlets if you can sneak your way around it. But Daily Motion is probably your best bet if you don't have the WWE Network. But what you're looking for is that first ever Hell in a Cell. It's Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. And like I said, October the 5th, 1997. So, not much backstory for this, really. The pay-per-view that came in before this was Ground Zero. Now, I watched all of this stretch of WWF live, so I have a really fond memory of it, and I've watched this match many times. This is, if anyone pushed me for an answer, my favourite wrestling match of all time. And so I'm curious to see how it holds up, as I haven't watched it for a couple of years now. But it's something that's very important, because obviously, nobody really knew what a Hell in a Cell was going to be coming into this. Now, the pay-per-view before this Ground Zero, like I mentioned, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker had already had a match, standard one-on-one match, and some of you may remember this as the famous moment where The Undertaker first came to prominence with his huge tope over the top rope, where he wiped out Shawn Michaels and a number of officials. The idea was that, of course, Shawn Michaels had kind of backed himself into a corner by his disgraceful behaviour, particularly at this point where he was aligning himself with Triple H and China, of course, as the original DX. And the idea of this match was that would Shawn Michaels be able to survive, and you'll hear this a lot in the dramatics, because on comms you've got Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry Lawler. And, of course, Jerry Lawler, being the uber heel commentator, is, fearing for Shawn's life, and he feels that this is because of Jim Ross, and Vince McMahon, the owner, is like, you've done this to him. And at the time, I was 12 years old. How old were you at this time, Carl? Do you have any memories of this?
October 5th, 1997. I would have been 6 and a half.
6.5. So I assume you didn't at that age watch this live.
No, gosh no. Honestly, I know this match. I know how famous it is. I know what happens at the end. I know the results, but I don't believe I've ever actually sat down and watched this. So I think I believe that this will be my first time, and I'm very excited. I love Shawn Michaels. I love The Undertaker. So this is kind of like a prelude, or kind of just one of those things where you go, man, you look at this match, and then you look at what they did at Mania's 25 and 26 and go, well, fuck me. These guys are both something special.
Yeah, this is the match that people remember before, they had their two WrestleMania classics, which, of course, led to Shawn Michaels' retirement. But there's also, of course, the two forgotten classics, the one from Ground Zero, which I mentioned before this, and then the Royal Rumble of 1998, a famous casket match for the WWF Championship, which was a really important match in its own right and very special in its own right for what it led to. But this match, of course, is well known for two things. One, of course, being the first ever Hell in a Cell, so you got a real feeling of what was going on, the first ever kind of the spots that we've grown so used to. We've been really desensitized. The Hell in a Cell has been really watered down, and in my opinion, it's a bit of a bullshit gimmick now. It's a bit lost in its own kind of, luster and history. But at this point, it was raw, it was real, and it was something that had never been seen before. And it was for a 12-year-old who, with all due respect, I was a complete mark at this point, and, had no clue as to what was real and what wasn't. For me, this was truly the pinnacle for wrestling at that time. And I think what makes it so special for me and why it's my favourite match is because of the sheer power and the emotion of it. And of course, we get a very special debut at the end of this match, and there's all the luster that goes with it. And I remember at the time just being chilled to the core, just, it was such a different wave of emotions going through me. So that's a little bit of a backstory. What you're looking for, of course, on the WWE Network, like I've said, is Badd Blood 1997. We'll be starting at 2 minutes, 2 hours. Don't start at 2 minutes, otherwise you're going to have to watch a load of midget wrestling. 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 41 seconds. This is a bit of a long one, guys. So settle in for the long haul. Make sure you've got yourself a nice cup of coffee, glass of wine, whatever you guys like to partake in. Maybe a joint. You never know. Hey, we all got to relax sometime.
Yeah,
but hopefully,
we don't judge at the Wrestle Plug.
We don't judge at Wrestle Plug. You can do whatever you fucking please. Hey, if you want to fucking get your LSD strips out, go for it, man. But we're going to cover this match in its entirety. And what we've done is we've started it slightly earlier than the match. So you get the vignette as well, and you also get Shawn Michaels' promo, just so you've got that little bit of a vibe, because it really is an important piece of wrestling history. So you're looking for Badd Blood 97, one last time, 2 hours, 4 minutes, 40 seconds, and we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, okay, that is Michael Hayes.
Yeah, Vince McMahon calls him Michael Cole.
Does it?
Fretty. Look how young Triple H is.
Look at that stash on Rude.
What a specimen he was.
I miss the long hair and like
Look
the
at him.
airbrush tights. Look at that European title. Like when we had it paused, you saw like all the European flags and stuff. That's pretty cool.
It's one of my favourite belts I think that I miss is the European title.
Definitely so. They had great European champions. Fucking cocky Shawn Michaels at 97, man.
Did you see Triple H getting cut off there? I think Triple H was meant to speak, and as he went to speak, they cut away from it for the vignette.
Is that Michael Cole's voice?
Yes, it is, yeah. He was a backstage interviewer at this point.
Oh, that was a stiff shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's something that we're not, we've kind of not been desensitized to. We've been sensitized again. Chair shots to the head.
Yeah, I don't miss those. Listen to that young Michael Cole. Jesus Christ.
There's a little bit of Pillman in this promo. Are they going to show the famous chair shot from SummerSlam?
Oh, Christ. Jesus
Lord almighty.
Christ.
Yeah, if you want to know why CTE is such a big thing now, guys, take a look at that.
And people complain about Goldberg dropping Taker on his head. I don't think that's nearly as bad as that. Holy fuck.
The body bag, mate. That's fucking great. Sitting up in the body bag. Fucking awesome. Here we go. Commissioner Slaughter. This is going to be a treat. Vince McMahon on comms. A lot of people said he wasn't very good. I thought he was fantastic. He's checking underneath. Look at these. Like, you're not going to get this nowadays. It's all taken for granted. But they're really hyping this up, making sure nobody can get it, making sure nobody's underneath, that there's nothing in there that, Shawn Michaels can use to escape. The whole premise of this is you cannot escape. You've balls this up too many times.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of firsts in wrestling anymore.
No, you don't. And they don't do first that well. Here he comes.
No one's sexy. The fact that he still uses this theme song, again, in 2020.
I've got to say, the chin on Sergeant Slaughter. He's got a huge chin at that geezer. If you nutted him, you'd end up knocking yourself out. Triple H has still got a little bit of the, he's transitioning from the, the kind of regal Triple H into the socket Triple H.
The Connecticut Blue Blood.
Yeah, he's still got the blue blood shirt kind of thing going on. Look at China, mate. What a specimen. Wow. She kind of dwarfs the other two.
Her arms are bigger than my legs. Her legs are bigger than my body.
Look at his gear, man. It's fantastic. That kind of Mad Max-esque kind of, chess play. I love it. I absolutely love it.
The ravishing one.
Man.
Look at that.
I know, man. It's quite sad to think that 2 of the 4 out here are no longer with us.
Yeah, it's a crying shame.
And when the European title used to mean something. And that was a special belt at one point. At this point, there'd only been 2 champions as well. And also, the idea that, the European champion would be the guy who would go after the WWF title later down the line as well was such a big deal. Like, double champions weren't a big thing back at this point. You really had to be truly special to be a double champ.
Yeah, because Shawn just won it off Bulldog, didn't he?
He did, yeah, in Manchester, no less.
Yeah.
In England, one night only. That's a pay-per-view that we need to cover at some point. Oh, that is something else. Look at that, his music went all the way to the end.
I miss that pyro, man. Like, with that stance.
The proper Spooter pyro before they went too over the top with the explosives. That little smoke cloud. Look at the cell, the way it's coming down. It's phenomenal.
Wait, it's not red. I'm not sure. What is this? Fucking Christ.
But no, this is a proper Hell in a Cell. There's no modifications. And one thing you will notice about this cell very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, is how low it is compared to the modern ones. And they changed it very quickly after this because of moments during this match where you wouldn't believe, actually, just how low it feels.
Well, I mean, Taker's what, like 6'10"?
Oh, listen to that. The thunderstorm. Get out of the ring. I love how they're all I love the acting here. The pomp, the circumstance of, are you okay? Are you okay? We don't want to leave you. Look at Shawn Michaels, the way he's selling this moment.
I don't understand why Shawn is in the ring first and then the cell comes down. Like,
that's cool. One of my favourite lines. Yeah, it is. And especially when the lights go out and the cell comes down. Vince McMahon with a real special line there. He said Shawn Michaels is going to be all alone, like a rat in a trap. Oh. Man.
One of the greatest characters in history.
He is literally a god of wrestling. But I can't help but feel that later in life, particularly in the last few years, the concept got watered down, and he spoke about that in the documentary. But look at him here. Look how, trim he is. Look how menacing he is. Look at the feeling of it all. It all just ties in. The fact that this is kind of a little bit older and grainier than the HD footage we get now all plays into this concept of this illustrious phenom, this Dark Lord of Wrestling, who genuinely felt like an immortal, like a member of the undead. It just worked beautifully. 12-year-old me is popping his nuts off right now.
I think 6-year-old me would be terrified.
Yeah, it gave you chills. When you first saw The Undertaker, I was very lucky, growing up. I think I was 6 years old when he debuted, 5 or 6 years old, and just watching it, I remember at first being haunted by him, absolutely haunted by him, and then kind of just being in awe of him more so than scared before, obviously, the kind of wising up to the business comes in.
Mm-hmm. Does he grab the door and close it? Is that something he does here? Ah, damn. Like some of the things he does later in matches where he's just staring the opponent down to the ring, he just grabs behind them and slams the door without taking his eyes off his opponent.
This is something he doesn't do anymore that he should. I'm going to let people listen to this, because this really has a feeling to it. Look at him selling it. Oh, that pyro. They don't do it anymore. I don't know if it's because it startled people, maybe it caused heart attacks or anything like that. There was I haven't found anything to supplement it, but that's something I miss. How cool is that? He just thrusts his arms in, that explosion. The way Shawn Michaels said, what are you doing? Why are you padlocking it? Oh, God, there's no way out. There is no way out. I'm amazed, actually, they didn't have this at No Way Out. It seemed perfect for it.
Yeah.
So Triple H, this is where these guys, when you realise just how special they are, this kind of feeling. I remember watching this thinking, there's no escape for you. Even though I hated Shawn Michaels' guts because I was Bret Hart's biggest fan, I was sitting here thinking, oh shit, what's going to happen? Holy shit, is he going to die? I was so terrified of what might happen. Look at that crowd, 21,000 in there to witness this.
Just doing these watch-alongs just makes you miss crowds even more. I know AEW is doing a little bit, but
yeah, there's nothing quite like a sold-out arena for something special like this. Look at the way he just slowly moving towards it. His gear as well. Undertaker's gear at this point was so fantastic. He's slowly evolving into the Ministry of Darkness Taker that we'll get later down the line.
Look at
beautiful.
That was a stiff boot, wasn't it?
Look at the way he sold it as well. We were talking about his selling, weren't we? And how it was a little bit corny and over the top. Right here, though, perfection. Absolute perfection. It can still be slightly over the top, but
that's because it works with Taker. It didn't work with 60-year-old Hulk Hogan in 2005 when we all know he was past his prime. But just the fact, I'm just
there it is.
Yep.
There's the same bump that he did with Hulk Hogan. Remember that? But the difference there is that when he hits the floor, he's not. It's like, holy shit, it's the impact that's more important as opposed to just that ridiculous overselling afterwards. Shawn Michaels, if he wanted to. I mean, at this point, Undertaker is already, part of the luster and the lore of it. He truly is the all-time Mr. WWF. So for Shawn Michaels to go out there and put the kind of effort in he does for him, speaks volumes about The Undertaker more than anything else.
These two are just Vince McMahon guys through and through. People always talk about, Paul Heyman guys and all that, but these two right here, Michaels and Taker, are they are WWE to the core.
Yeah, let's not forget, if you're looking back at all the icons of wrestling, that cell is phenomenal. Boom. Beautiful. A lot of wrestlers could take a fucking tip You know, watching that, and then I watch something on AEW, and I hate to be that guy, but you see, like, you know, this no-selling kind of mentality. Look how special that was. Flipping him over into the corner and then just hitting him with a straight lariat, a proper line that was laying his shit in. And it was so simple, and yet it looked so much better than a flurry of super kicks and no-sells. It's a story. It's a psychology. It means something. The way he's wearing him down. You know, he doesn't have to do this flurry of ridiculously over-athletic maneuvers to sell this to a crowd.
Oh shit, are we going for it already?
We're going old school, baby. This is where you're going to get a sense of how low the roof is compared to nowadays. I mean, look how close he is.
Yeah, because, Taker's like 6'10", Shawn himself is like 5'8" or something, 5'10", probably around my height. So, like, if Taker tried to lift him up for just a straight vertical suplex, Shawn's feet would probably either hit the top or be damn close. Like the cross beats.
There is a forgotten moment in this that you'll see where it actually does pretty much happen. He's very lucky, actually, that he didn't hit it harder, but I'll try and point it out when it happens, because I remember it so famously.
This is a treat. Like, this is just, it's so much fun.
It's so exciting to be able to look at it. Look at that.
Damn,
the simplicity of that. A scoop slam and a leg drop. Nothing else. And all those moves mean something. They fucking mean something. Shawn Michaels selling his ass off. Undertaker laying his shit in, just feeling right there.
Oh,
there
Jesus.
He goes.
Yep.
Right there. That backdrop. His feet hit the thing. And I think this match was a great setting point. And this was a great warm-up for the later ones. You know, the better... I wouldn't say the better ones, because for me, this is still my favourite Hell in a Cell. But, you know, you got future Hell in a Cells down the line, especially involving Mankind, Cactus Jack, you know, Triple H, Chris Jericho, and all of those Hell in a Cell matches benefited from this match, because this was the guinea pig, this was the test dummy. They could work out what they needed to do. Oh my god, that bump.
Fucking right on, like, his shoulder. Oh. Let's not forget one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches ever, Triple H and Kevin Nash. Badd Blood,
Jesus.
2003. Let's go.
See, right now we're doing watch-alongs that are, you know, of great classics or matches that mean something, but that, I mean, I swear to God, if you motherfuckers blow out the comments asking for us to cover stuff like that, I'm going to be furious. Look at him, he's trying to get away. Undertaker's like, come back in. Look at him selling it, throwing himself to the floor. It all feels so real.
He was close to the turnbuckle. So you watch this. That was right on his shoulder and neck.
That fucking bump. You know, the one thing you cannot, you know, have a go at Shawn Michaels for is when he goes for it. Like, there's no one better. People talk about Dolph Ziggler now. He hasn't got nothing on this kind of stuff. Look at that. Look at the way he's into that cage. He's taking a fucking savage flat back bump on the floor. I know there's padding out there. That still fucking hurts. Trust me. It fucking hurts.
Yeah, because padding it may be, but it's still concrete floor underneath. It's still just as solid.
Yeah. And Michaels isn't, you know, there was no kind of like, oh, I'll take it slightly easy, which you would forgive a guy for doing. So, I mean, splat. I love how systematic, but also there's a weird kind of rhythm to what Undertaker's doing. It all feels very fluent, you know? It's almost like he's going through this violent dance with him. It's so cool to watch. Everything's so premeditated. It's like when he gets in there, he feels like he's in this environment. That's why the Hell in a Cell is ostensibly his gimmick. It's his design.
Oh, I know where this is going. Yeah.
Lord of mine.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Do you know what I love about that? It was ugly. They didn't try and be clever and make it smooth. It was like, no, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to ram you against this cage until you fall down like the piece of shit you are. Brilliant. It just feels so real and so good. At no point are you watching this thinking, oh, what a load of choreographed horse shit. And that's not something you can say about a lot of the modern wrestling.
No, but like you said, like how grainy this looks, it fits the feel of the match. It's two dudes locked inside a first time ever.
Oh.
Look at that. Even
the best
even in
strikes in the
97.
business.
Oh, absolutely. And you think about this. This is 97. Taker's been in this company for 7 years. He hasn't even hit his peak yet. Because as far as I'm concerned, his peaks started in like probably 2000. He won the Rumble in 2007, so probably around like 2007 to probably 2010, or just before 2010, when he was having the matches with like Angle, Batista. His rivalry with Batista is phenomenal. And now Shawn Michaels is dead.
Well, that's what I mean. Look at the use of I love the little teardrop as well. You know, the teardrop style tattoo.
Yeah, that's
everything works so well. The hair, yeah. But at this time, how cool was it to be out of the way, cameraman? You piece of shit! Brilliant. I love this as well because the cameramen don't know what to expect. They don't know how to record this. The famous. This is the first ever lawn dart. Oh no, he's blocked it. Look at that. The Undertaker's so powerful. He's like, no, fuck you. I love that. That's how no selling works, ladies and gentlemen. None of that fucking Young Bucks horse shit. No selling 55 super kicks. That's how you no sell. Masterclass.
Oh. See, those stairs actually scared me back when I was.
They look so good, don't they?
The stairs
black
now,
solid steel. Wow.
Like, across the bridge of the nose. And then the corner of the steps into the sternum.
Wait, look at that. Look at it. Look how real it feels. It feels like a man who has literally waited his whole life to get this little shitbag in himself. This is like the ultimate street fight. This is like he has waited so long for this moment. There's no escape. Finally, I can dissect you and hurt you in a way that I've always dreamed I could do. But I've never had the apparatus or the environment to do so. That's interesting. I wonder what happened there.
Slipped on a cord, maybe? Like, because the camera guys were in the corner, right? You can see that pile of cords.
Well, yeah, and also, like, because Shawn Michaels goes in, it's like he whips him into it. I don't know whether Shawn Michaels was meant to, like, the Undertaker was coming in really quick after him, and I'm not sure when, hey, no, nobody's perfect, not even here. And obviously, you got to remember as well, they're in an environment they've never been in before. You're asking a lot of these guys as well, and that's what, for me, makes this so special. You're asking probably your two biggest superstars. These are the two most loyal guys. Like you said, you know, these are Vince McMahon guys. These are the only guys who didn't defect, who didn't jump ship, who didn't run to WCW or take any paydays. I know Austin didn't really sort of defect, but he came in much later. These guys had, you know, been a staple of, beautiful. They've been a staple part of WWF for so long. And you've said to them, right, go in there, lads. We don't really know, what you can do. Like, I'd love to know what the road agents' ideas were for this match, because at the time you had guys like Pat Patterson working very strongly on this stuff.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do a first like this, you take the two most trusted guys you have.
Your frontline soldiers. That's who these two guys were.
Yeah, these two have always made magic together.
Oh, that tope was masterful.
Look at how close it is to the fucking guardrail.
Oh, imagine sitting there watching this. Imagine being that little blonde kid there. Oh, that is phenomenal. See the way he's used that to drop the elbow.
Oh,
he's just spat on the fans. Phenomenal. Fuck that kid. That's the original Brock Lesnar. I don't give a shit about your kids right there.
Yeah,
look at that guy, he's like covering his face. Look at that guy sitting next to his blonde kid, he's like covering his face, he's swearing at him. That's great heel work.
This is the same Shawn Michaels that, like, on camera just fucking, like, gargled a dick.
Pretty much,
that motion with, like, gargling and, cupping the balls, showing the whole area a little bit of love.
I always remember when he started physically humping the Canadian flag on the canvas right before he faced Bret Hart at Survivor Series, which is the next pay-per-view after this. This might end up being the Shawn Michaels watch along the way we're going. The amount of great matches I'm thinking about it. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, we had the Hulk Hogan match, we've had this match. I want to cover the casket match. Like, it's hard to deny Shawn Michaels' place as one of the all-time greatest entertainers.
The only suggestion I would
look at that. He laid that shit in, and those are proper steel steps.
Oh yeah.
Like, they probably are very similar to today, but you've got to think that in today's era, they've probably loosened them up or modified them in some way. Back then, everything was so much more stiff. Remember the steel cage from back in this era? That vicious, iron-like bars, like a proper prison. Crazy. Oh my God.
He was definitely going for a pile driver on that one.
Oh, he's going for it.
Oh
my God.
That's a display of power from Shawn Michaels that you don't normally see.
Yeah, that's a 320-pound man. He's pulled him up and given it. He's get the fuck off. Yeah. Wow.
It's so cool to watch the European champion in the main event like this. In a first ever match.
Yeah.
And was that just
on him, rest in peace. Yeah, just stands on him pretty much. How good though? Have you noticed how to get the upper hand on a man that was so much more powerful and vicious than him, he used the elements around him. The way he drove him into the cage, the way he, toe-paid over and into him and used the cage again. They were using the environment in a way that is so overdone now. And at that point, it all felt so organic, so real.
Sean,
with far less room to work with. The old classic double axe handle.
Yeah, but he pretty much just fell, because if he jumped, he would have smashed his head off the roof.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Hearing Jim Ross, in his youth, well, youthish, you know what I mean, much younger, calling this the way he is, it's just beautiful.
It is...
23 years ago. 23 years.
I love Jim Ross. He was the voice of my childhood. And I've said this before, but just seeing him on AEW now is not the same.
It's not. No, it doesn't feel the same. And let's be honest, he hasn't got the same kind of quality to call either. He's not going to have the same passion that he had before. I'm amazed it took this long to get a steel chair out, but that's the other thing as well. None of this, just going straight for it. Crash. Once again, it means something. You're going to get bored of me saying this, ladies and gentlemen, but this means something. That steel chair shot, it meant something. If you watch matches like this now, extreme matches, anything of this kind of nature, they're straight outside, tables are out, ladders are out, and it just feels watered down. It just doesn't feel like it's, it belongs. It feels pretty much like it's not real. Right now, it does. It's like, I've got a weapon now. Look at him.
Right in the
off
small
like
of the
he is.
back.
Teeing off, letting the chair go right round the back. Look at the anger throwing against the cell. You put me in this position. This is what I need to do to survive. This is what he's selling to an audience.
This is just, like I say, it means something, because stipulation matches back in 97, they had some, they had the ladder matches, they had cage matches, they had Hell in a Cell, but it wasn't done to death. They didn't have pay-per-views dedicated to TLC or Hell in a Cell or the Fatal 4-Way. That was a thing for a while, if we remember how shitty that was. They're
rocking each other.
Gimmick matches in 97 meant something. And
look how this is descended
first. Oh shit!
Into a brawl. Oh, look at that.
How did he get him tied
Beautiful.
up? That was fucking flawless.
Smooth. That's what happens when you got two guys who are in sync who know what they're doing. I'll tell you what, that's another spot. They don't use it often. They did it on Dominant recently, didn't they? On Raw, Seth Rollins and Murphy were teeing off on him with the cane. But that's not something you see very often. That was an Andre the Giant trick. If you ever go back and watch Andre the Giant matches, that was kind of like the one move that people would use to disable him. And especially in his later days, because he was so old, so knackered, let's be honest, so fat, he could barely move, bless his soul. And those matches, you would find this spot beautiful. Look at the way he countered it. He was able to get away. Nowadays, it would take 15 refs to get him out of the ropes. Oh my god.
Shit.
Boom, that's another cameraman. If you've got the over or under for 2 on cameramen, you're very close. I love it.
That's definitely like
that's one
guy,
beefy
right?
cameraman.
Yeah, that's got to be like a fucking.
I'll tell you what though, listen to them selling it. Listen to the anger. Vince McMahon's like genuinely like, what the hell are you doing? That's what the hell is wrong with you? JR as well. But also, once again, what was I telling you? Shawn Michaels expressing his rage. You put me in this position. You forced me into this match. So whatever I do, that's on you, not me. I love that. I fucking love that. This feels so good. This feels like a man at the end of his wick. A man who has decided, that's it. Whatever it takes to fucking survive, I will do it. These piece of shit cameramen, they're in my fucking way, so fuck them too. It's so good. Dear Vince McMahon, we apologise to the cameraman's family. That's great. You're not hearing it. Can you imagine Michael Cole nowadays? Do you know what, though? It's a very clever plot device, as you're about to see.
I mean, when you really break it down, we're not going to spoil the end of this match. If people don't know, you probably do, but this whole match is kind of like a plot device.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. But, you know, I've said on the podcast many times when we covered Manic Mondays, the classic nip-up, brilliant. I've said so many times, I believe this to be the greatest Hell in the Cell match of all time. And when people tell me it's Mankind versus The Undertaker, that fucking pisses me off. And I'll tell you why, because that's not a match. That's just a stunt fest. And don't get me wrong, it's stunning and it's incredible. But it doesn't mean as much. This is an actual match. I don't think a Hell in a Cell has ever got past this kind of feeling. That elbow drop was fucking nasty. He laid that in something wrong. He made that look
hit him
beautiful.
in the chest. That was like across the face and neck. Fuck.
You gotta remember as well, you can take a little bit more liberty with someone like The Undertaker, because he's just such a fucking hard bastard.
Tune it up the band.
One thing I like is the fact that while they're getting this guy, you'd think that Shawn Michaels would immediately use this as an opportunity to escape, but he's actually sensing the blood. He's sensing the feeling. Look at those boots, mate. Back when boots were made beautifully. Come on, Slaughter. Boom! Beautiful. Oh my god. Okay,
Sean's like,
I might be. So there, see, now he's used it. I love that. Uh-oh. Oh my god! He attempted a drop kick on concrete. Look at him. Oh, what are you doing, man?
Oh boy. Oh, that was a great camera shot.
Yeah. I love the vicious, haphazard nature of the cam work here. Like, they don't know what to expect either. They get knocked over, they get beaten up, you know, they're right in the face of the action. It literally feels like it's in your house.
Oh, that dude, the blue tank top, fucking had a fucking old disposable camera. He's fucking cranking it back. The 90s, baby.
Look at the fans. Look how they feel. Here's the lawn dart.
Oh.
Look at that. Famous.
I know, the Wonder Rey Mysterio is pretty good too.
JR on the call. The handsome features of Shawn Michaels being rearranged by The Undertaker.
Oh, another one. Oh, the camera's in a perfect
so well.
shot.
This is honestly, this is like watching art. This feels like a masterclass in what wrestling should be. I think it should be mandatory for all modern wrestlers, especially ones in training, to watch stuff like this.
Kick in the dick.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Michaels for the kick to the groin area. Say how it is, Vince. He kicked him in the dick. I love it.
I've seen a lot of Hell in a Cell matches, but I'm really enjoying this one.
This is genuine. I mean, this is my favourite match of all time. And obviously wrestling's subjective. We've all got our favourites, and hopefully we'll get to cover a few of yours as well, ladies and gentlemen. But this is a real treat for me, and to get to share it with one of my best friends as well is fucking awesome. I hate to be all soppy about it, but to share something so cool like this and so iconic, I almost feel like of all the great moments, this one's kind of slightly forgotten. This should be remembered more than anything.
Holy shit!
Else. The speed at which they got up.
Did you see Taker lift his leg from like the fucking top third? He just fucking
like
lifted his leg all the way up.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking... Oh, mate, the camera work there. Right underneath it. Look at the way it's turning. Look at that image of these two men. They may as well be in the heavens.
Oh, grinding his face.
Someone just shouted, "Oh shit!" I don't know who that was. Brilliant. I was surprised they didn't censor that because they censored Michael swearing.
No, I heard him say "son of a bitch" a few times.
Maybe it's just the F word.
Yeah, get the F out. Circa 2002.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact they got the old WWF logo there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that image.
Oh.
That is amazing. I'm sorry, that is incredible. That for me, right, that's better than anything else I've ever seen on top of the cell. Like, in terms of not, where they haven't been thrown off directly. Imagine if he just gorilla pressed him straight off. That would have been insane.
I feel like Sean does a table bump here.
Yes, he does. Yes, okay. He does.
Right. Yeah,
he does. Right here. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, but yeah, this is like, I understand why they did it this way, and it also gives you an idea of just how insane Mankind is, because Shawn Michaels is willing to do some crazy shit, and the fact that he was willing to do this is wild. Look at that, there you go. That bump still looks fucking cool, though. I know it's not like, I know it's not Shane McMahon. I know it's not Mankind, off the top of the cell, and I know a lot of people will say, no, it's nothing like those. But the way he landed, the concrete underneath, and no one had ever seen someone fall like that before. No one had ever seen that. Especially not in this era of WWF, like, it's wild to think 2 years before this, we're in the gobbledygook, uber gimmick era of WWF.
The closest thing I could think of to seeing a fall like that isn't even a fall, just seeing Snuka jump off the top of the cage.
Yeah.
But this is still, it's similar, but it's different,
Look at him, launching himself onto that table. The sweat, the blood.
The probable tears.
Oh my god, he's just manhandling him. Honestly, I am so happy. I was worried this may not live up to 35-year-old me, and actually, if anything, I'm enjoying it just as much as I was when I was 12. And I'll watch this live. I remember watching this live and just being in awe of everything I was seeing. This was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen live for so long. And it still stays with me now.
And, as a first-time view, I've seen some of the bumps, just in highlight reels, because it's impossible not to. But seeing just the storytelling these guys are doing, just to see the absolute shit that Michaels is going through here.
You can't help but respect him after watching a match like this. Look at the blood. Look at that image. Get back in there.
I've always respected Sean. I've always loved Sean, even as a Canadian, knowing what he did to Brett. I mean, that hurt. But at the time, I was 6 years old. I didn't understand it at the time. I still thought that shit was real. I mean, to be fair, that shit was real. Honestly,
Jim Ross's call on this is incredible, honestly. It's so phenomenal. The way he talked about this might be his purgatory. Shawn Michaels is going to walk through hell, maybe for the last time. He's selling the fact this guy may never be seen again. Oh, yes.
Oh, boy. Is this what I think it's going to be? Oh. Was that a flat back? Did he land flat on his back before he rolled?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. But,
no.
What an image. These are, and these are all images that, we've seen them done since. But there's something really special about seeing it done for the first time. The choke slams from the top rope, the Hell in a Cell, the backdrop when his legs hit the ceiling. It's just, look at that blue chair. God, I miss the old days so much. I feel
blue
like
chair,
such a old man
blue
watching
cage.
this. Yeah. Look out. Oh! My God. My God, that I actually just shuddered.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Is this the best version of his theme? Because I can think of one better.
Wait for the call.
That's gotta be kind. The passion in Vince's voice.
Is that Vince's greatest ever call, do you think, on comms?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, mate, do you see the way he rips the door off? Oh, Vince selling it.
Oh,
Hebner takes a whopper bum for the cause. Look at the size of Kane, the specimen of him.
Glenn, what
I
are you
remember
doing?
being absolutely shell-shocked when I first watched this. Look at him.
Oh, the cell's red now, so I guess I got that.
You did. The Fiend ain't got nothing on this, has he? Come on.
Fuck no.
And I love the Fiend, but no. Look at Undertaker's face. He's never seen anything like this. It's And then the lights are on. Beautiful. I cannot get over how big Kane is there. What a specimen.
And look at this tombstone. Look at how fast it is.
Oh, my God. That original gear that he used to wear.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one glove. Like, he must have been roasting. That mask as well. He feels like a legitimate... Do you remember, like, the first time you ever saw Friday the 13th? The first time Jason ever burst through your screen, or Freddy Krueger? That's how that felt to me, watching that. Paul Bearer, this, with how much Paul Bearer had meant to The Undertaker before this.
It's gonna be Kane.
He feels otherworldly. Look at the veins. Like, he's just a monster. Legitimately a monster. The big red machine in all his glory.
Is that the best version of his theme, do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Because I love it, but I've got a real soft spot for a Slow Chemical.
What an iconic image. Wow. I couldn't believe it when I was 12. I was shell-shocked that the Undertaker had lost. And I was so angry, like, how his brother, his own brother had done that to him. Look at it. The way they're selling it. Look at it. Shawn Michaels he's dead. He's basically dead. He survived, but he's pretty much dead. Look at him.
Oh yeah, he got the shit kicked out of him.
I can name 5 or 6 iconic images in there, which all beat any iconic image I've seen in the last 10, 15 years.
The biggest one for me, honestly, is just the face-to-face with Taker and Kay for the first time. That is...
Seeing fear in The Undertaker's eyes. That was the first time in his entire career that you saw him lost. Never seen The Undertaker look lost. Look at this image of Shawn Michaels. He's dead. Look, Triple H and China are carrying him. Someone throwing rubbish at Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Hunter is holding Sean's arm up. Sean's not doing it on his own. I don't think he actually knows what he's doing.
I love that, though. There it is, the socket. It's like, I'll do it for you. He's the ultimate wingman, isn't he, at this point?
He is.
He's the guy who goes in there and gets you all the pussy in the club. He's loving that shit.
If if you could just pause this right here.
I mean, you guys are seeing the artwork, which hopefully you're enjoying. That artwork is something I've done myself that you can see on the YouTube video. But I think I'm going to have to go back and do that piece as well because that's so iconic.
And that's a nasty tombstone.
Yeah, gnarly. But I mean, everything. The chair shot that Shawn Michaels took over the head. My lord. Shawn Michaels legitimately took the shit kicking of a lifetime. And he has a reputation for being a bit of a pussy. I tell you what, after watching that, I don't think I would have been able to survive all of that.
He can't even sit up. That's always such... Anytime you can't see Taker sit up, it's such a weird moment. Yeah, that's a standing off for me.
It's still, to this day, a masterpiece. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Badd Blood 1997, your main event, the first ever Hell in a Cell. I want to know what you guys think. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you haven't got pissed off of us falling over it too much, but hopefully you've been able to feel a little bit of that and understand why it was so special. That was my choice. You know, Kyle picked a great choice in Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan last week. This week I went for this bad boy, and you know, I think you'll understand why, or hopefully you understand why. That, for me, is one of the... It's my favourite match of all time, and for me, it's one of the most iconic pieces of wrestling history that's still available to this day. And in some ways, that's why the WWE Network is as special as it is to some of us, because I'm able to relive that in just the greatest quality possible, but with the authenticity of how it really felt. Any final thoughts on that, mate? What did you think? Because that's probably the first time you've seen a match for a long time, and probably the first time you properly sat down and watched it and dissected it.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever actually sat down and watched it. I consider myself a bit of a, not necessarily a historian, but I like to think I have a lot of knowledge locked up here in this head. And I knew about Kay's debut, I knew about the ass kicking Shawn took, but I've never watched it bell to bell. And I loved it. I loved this Hell in a Cell match. I can see why you would put it at the top of your list. For me, it's at least second, if not first, because I really enjoyed Triple H and Batista at Vengeance 2005. That's an incredible Hell in a Cell match for me.
It's a hell of a shout. Not many people would go with that as their favourite Hell in a Cell.
Oh,
like, if you ask everyone, they all say King of the Ring 98, but for me, although it's one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in anything,
sure.
But I don't feel that it's a great match. It's a great moment, but I don't feel like it's a great match. I really don't. And it's not to say it's incredible, and what Mick Foley and Undertaker did in that moment and that set piece was really special. But that's the other thing as well. Do you know what? It was nice that the Hell in a Cell was used so sparingly. It was truly a device of horror that was saved for and reserved for the most vicious and violent endings to rivalries possible. And yet, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker wouldn't have to wait long to get their hands on each other once again, just a couple of months down the line at Royal Rumble 1998, that casket match. So, yeah, absolutely spectacular. Kyle, we'll consider this your choice for next week. I look forward to seeing what you're going to pick. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it there. Let us know what you thought of that match, and most importantly, let us know if you're enjoying these watch-alongs. If you are enjoying them, please do not hesitate to check out our YouTube channel. We're going to continue to do more. Let us know what you thought, and also, we are more than happy to cover yours. If we get enough interest, enough excitement, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you would like us to do a watch-along on, and thank you very much for joining us for the ride, because it's great for us. We get to relive the good old days, our nostalgia, and hopefully we can add what little knowledge we do have, and just as fans, truly sit back and enjoy the masterpieces of wrestling. So that'll do for now. Don't forget, at WrestlePlug as well on all our social media. We've got a full audio podcast. We've got hundreds of episodes now that you can check out. Not just covering the modern day stuff, but we've also got something called Manic Mondays. If you go back through the archives, you can find some wonderful historic podcasts podcasts where we've covered great moments, great events. You know, we covered our pay-per-views, and obviously for the next series as well, as people will know if they listen to the podcast regularly, we're going to be covering the Attitude Era, 99 and 2000. Myself and Steve Neal will be going back through that for Manic Monday, so that's something exciting to get your teeth into as well. But at WrestlePlug on social media, WrestlePlug.com is our website. And don't forget, ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlePlug if you're in North America and you want to buy a t-shirt. And if you want to buy one in the UK, it's WrestlePlug.BigCartel.com. We'll catch you very soon. From myself, Aaron Nix, and from Carl Wilkinson, catch you very, very soon for more content from the WrestlePlug.